The Dallas Cowboys, their record 5-1. The Philadelphia Eagles, also with a record of 5-1. So this is it for first place. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. And Tommy, I guess the first thing we ought to direct our attention to is the condition of the fine Eagle running back, Wilbert Montgomery.
Well, Wilbert, number 31, the little package of dynamite out of Abilene Christian, re-pulled the groin muscle on Friday afternoon running a pass pattern. Yesterday it looked bleak. He came out, could barely warm up. Much like a great thoroughbred horse, you can't get back into the barn when he sees the other horses out there. Wilbert Montgomery will start at tailback. And otherwise, I think Dallas might really sit on the Eagle offense.
There's been a lot of talk throughout this week and throughout this season, as a matter of fact, what a big game this is, so we went right to the source. First of all, I asked Tom Landry, how important is this game to the Cowboys?
He's your old teammate, too.
Well, I think, Pat, playing this game as long as you did, every game is really important. It gives you that psychological edge when you're able to win it. Of course, the game itself is big in a way, but, we have a long season. When Philadelphia came to town last year, they really waffled us in Dallas, beat us 28-something, and so it is important just from the lift you get, but it's not the end of all games. It's not the Super Bowl.
Your team ready to play?
I think we're ready. We're in good health and everything. We're looking forward to the game because I'm not really sure how good our team is, really. I have no idea yet, and I just like to see them play a good team, and Philadelphia's a good team.
The ever-composed and ever-astute Tom Landry. You had a chance to talk to your friend Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, Dick's a good friend of mine, and sometimes we call him the Great Santini, but he gets the job done. He works the team hard, and I asked him if this was a special kind of game, even though he likes to look over the overview, if this was a special one. Here's his answer.
Well, we have a chance to play a championship football team, and we're striving to be a championship team ourselves, and we feel if you're going to be a champion within your division, then you have to beat the division team that was a champion the year before. And we're ready to play. We backed off a little bit this week. I have a tendency to overwork them, and if anything this week, we backed off enough to not use that as an excuse if we don't beat them anyway.
So this is what it's all about for first place in the National Conference Eastern Division. Dallas and Philadelphia. The first meeting of the year between these two teams, both 5-1. Deep is Billy Campfield for the Eagles, standing right at his own goal line. Raphael Septien will kick off for Dallas.
And the Eagles have been weak on kickoff returns, and that's the reason Campfield is back there. He runs straight ahead hard.
Septien, line drive kick, difficult to handle. It is. Louis Giamona is number 33, the coach's nephew. Struggling outside the 20 to about the 22, hit down by Timmy Newsom. Let's look at the offensive unit for Philadelphia.
And remember, Montgomery had over 2,000 yards catching and running the ball a year ago. He's over 600 now. He will start. Leroy Harris is trimmed down, and Jaworski's having a great year.
The receivers, Harold Carmichael, his streak now up to 118 consecutive games in which he's caught a pass. Smith. And the tight end is Keith Krepfle. There's the interior line.
All veterans except Petey Perot, the second-year man at left guard, over Randy White.
First and 10 Eagles from their old 23. As the Cowboys on first down go into that familiar flex defense. Smith goes in motion. The handoff is to Wilbert Montgomery, and he's got a couple before Ed Jones and I imagine Harvey Martin and Larry Cole. And here's the Dallas front four.
And they are superb. Ed Too Tall Jones, Larry Cole's in there. Dutton will come in too. Randy White, who will be doubled and tripled, and Harvey Martin, who has a thigh bruise but is coming on quick.
The linebackers, 58 is Mike Hegman. Brunig in the middle. He leads the team in tackles. And D.D. Lewis on the outside, weak side.
Here's that young secondary, but it's getting better every week. You better get him in a hurry.
Second down 7 for the Eagles. As they shift back into the eye with Montgomery deep again. Leroy Harris in front of him. Again, it's Montgomery running room. Montgomery, first down, Philadelphia out near the 40. Dennis Thurman was the last man. And he took him down. If he's hurting, it didn't show on that play, did it?
A misdirection play. Watch him take the stutter step. Harris goes over. Now he waits for the draw to open up. Morris gets a real good block on Randy White. Remember, once Wilbert gets into the secondary, he doesn't look for many fancy moves and all like a Dorsett. He just goes straight on until he makes contact.
13 yards on that carry by Montgomery. First down Eagles at their own 39. Opening minutes of this early showdown. Jaworski, good protection. Complete. Krepfle in the middle of the zone. First down Eagles Dallas territory. Bob Brunig came back to make the tackle.
That is only Krepfli's 8th catch of the year. And the thing that he thinks about when he plays Dallas is that he's had great days against Waters. Number 84 will break ribs and do everything he can to catch the ball. He's an excellent football player. Not overly fast and not too big for a tight end. He's just a great player.
Give credit to the Eagles offensive line. Good protection for Jaworski.
They double on Randy White.
Lone set back now is Leroy Harris as they go into a double tight end setup. Spagnola. And who struggle for survival by Leroy Harris just gets him back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. Randy White, the tackler.
Each team has been extremely careful with turnovers. The Cowboys have lost only 5 fumbles. The Eagles only 7. A game that's evenly matched like this, a turnover in your own territory could be disastrous. Great play by number 54.
Cowboys now take out all 3 linebackers, put in Benny Barnes and Dexter Clinkscale, along with Anthony Dickerson.
That Clinkscale is some hitter, isn't he? That young number 47 for Dallas.
So is Dickerson. 2nd and 10. And obviously they're expecting the Eagles to put it up. Carmichael stood out wide to the right. Leroy Harris is out. They pitch back to Montgomery. And he gets a couple. Nothing more as the Cowboys, led by a strong force by Charlie Waters. The tackle by Harvey Martin.
Yeah, Anthony Dickerson got a heck of a piece of Wilbert that time. And again, you can almost protect a hip pointer, but it's hard to protect. But a pulled groin muscle is something that usually just takes time. Only a thoroughbred like Wilbert could be playing like this.
Billy Campfield has replaced the fullback, Leroy Harris. John Spagnola is out as well, so it's a single tight end setup now. Cowboys still in the prevent defense. Their so-called nickel, which includes 6 defensive backs. Again, the protection is good. The pass is batted down by Larry Cole.
I was talking to the Eagle coaching staff, and they said Ernie Stautner, the defensive line coach for the Cowboys, has done such a good job with his defensive linemen. As soon as they get the ultimate rush they can, get those arms up. They're all tall. They're 6'8", they're 6'6". And that time we've just seen another spiked volleyball. Excellent defensive play on the line.
Max Runiger is the Eagle punter. James Jones back deep for Dallas, number 23. A dangerous runner, up among the leaders in punt returns in the NFC. Runiger aiming for out of bounds, and he might get it done. Just barely bounces into the end zone. The Cowboys will operate with their first possession from their own 20-yard line. The Eagles got a couple of first downs. And the Cowboys will take over after a 43-yard punt by Max Runiger. We'll be back with a score still. 0-0.
It's going to be tough, you know.
Let's have a look at the Dallas offensive unit now. The quarterback, Danny White. Halfbacks, Tony Dorsett and Ron Springs in front of him.
The skill positions, boy, they're great. Drew Pearson finally got it going last week. Tony Hill is very, very dangerous in this ballpark.
Donovan Scott, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, and Cooper. The 5 middle ones, about whom you hear so little. And that's unfair. 1st and 10 from the 20. Danny White's going to put it up on 1st down. Has complete to Dorsett, penalty marker down. Dorsett was tackled immediately by Frank Lemaster.
It's back in the secondary area. Somebody made contact. Herm Edwards might have made contact with somebody trying to run a 9 or something. Again, Dallas will come with finesse plays. They are not a team that just tries to overpower you. It's going to be against the Eagles. They will finesse you, but they finesse you with people that can run by you and over you. Have to be very careful.
The voice you'll hear when we find out the identity of the offender will be that of the referee, Cal Lepore. Umpires Dave Hamilton, headlinesman Tony Viteri.
Holding, 56, defense, it's 1st down.
That's Jerry Robinson.
Right outside linebacker. Let's see, look to the right part. Right in the middle of your screen now. That's Berge. 56 is right here. He grabs a hold of Billy Joe Dupree and sort of threw him. Well, the officials are sharp as the 2 teams are today.
1st down for the Cowboys. And 10 at the 25 now, the line of scrimmage. Here comes Springs in motion. Pitches back to Dorsett. And Dorsett is taken down by Frank Lemaster again, but a penalty marker also again.
Remember that Eagle defense has only allowed 70 points that Danny White is working against. 70 points in 6 games. That's number 1 in the league. Face mask against the Eagles. There it is, Bigfoot Harrison at left end. Charlie Johnson, maybe the best nose guard in football. And Carl Hairston, who follows you from sideline to sideline.
A 3-man front means, of course, 4 linebackers. Bunting and Robinson on the outside, Berge and Lemaster in the middle.
Berge's weighing 242 and says he's skinny. Royale Young, Herm Edwards, the cornerbacks, Logan and Bernard Wilson at safety.
And now it's a first down, Dallas. Middle guard Charlie Johnson must have grabbed Fitzgerald by the face mask to try to maneuver him out of the way. They have moved up to the 30 where it's first and 10. The Cowboys have run 2 plays, neither very successfully. There's Danny White, picked off by Lemaster. Lemaster still on his feet down to about the 31-yard line. Danny White threw it into a bunch of Eagles that time.
That time the Eagle defense guessed. They've only blitzed 4 times this year. They do with 3-man rush, a 4-man rush, and they drop everybody back. Lemaster's first interception, right corner of your screen. Let's see if he drops back. He ought to get about a 12-yard drop. Well, you're right. Danny forced this one. A lot of green shirts and only 1 Cowboy receiver. I believe that was Drew Pearson in there.
Cowboys have won 3 plays. Lemaster stopped them both. And now on the 3rd play, he intercepts a pass. Reasonable start. First down, Eagles at the Dallas 31. Field goal range already for Tony Franklin. This is Wilbert Montgomery. Larry Cole wraps him up after a couple.
The coaches these days are coaching on the sidelines while the other team is on the field. Not like when we played, Patrick. They could barely find us to get us back in the game sometimes.
Hiding behind the buckets.
That's Marion Campbell working with them, the Swamp Fox. They better listen.
St. Louis and Washington. Redskins up 7-0, first quarter.
Gotta throw it, don't you?
To a double tight end setup. Spagnola and Krepp with both in. He does. He looks quick to Carmichael. He has it. A diving catch by Harold Carmichael. That extends his consecutive game streak to 119.
The hardest working player I think I've ever seen in this league. It didn't happen overnight. He had to shorten his stride. He's very small at 6'8", about 2 1/4, but he has worked extremely hard on blocking and other things. Boy, it scares you if you're playing corner against that.
Heck of an athlete in high school at Raines in Jacksonville. And what a great career he's had since then.
Claude Humphrey and Charlie Johnson, rather intent, huh?
It's time to be intent. The Cowboys are in town, and we're tied for first place. Fake to Montgomery. Jaworski just fires it out of the open green spaces as Randy White and Too Tall Jones were looking down his throat.
Leroy Harris, the intended screen man, couldn't even get out of the pocket. Ed Too Tall Jones just took the whole side and shoved it on, and then 54 made the tackle. What a rush.
Don Besselou picked up a fumble and ran for a Miami touchdown. They lead Buffalo 7-0. Phenomenal the success that they have had against that Buffalo team. They beat them earlier this year for the first time, I think, in 20 meetings. Tony Franklin.
And he's only missed 3 field goals. One was like 50 yards in the win, a couple more that were close. He's hit 4 of them.
John Shara will hold for him from 41 yards out. And this, of course, is well within his range. It's a fake or a bad hold or something. And the Eagles don't get anything. Shara does not come close to a first down, and the Cowboys offensive unit comes back.
One of Vermeil's philosophies is once you get down inside the 20, this is outside, you've got to score something. You can't go away empty-handed. The Dallas defense sends them away without a point.
Harvey Martin made the tackle. I don't know, Tom, if that was a bad snap or if it was supposed to be a fake. Looked like Franklin made his move at the ball, and something happened on the hold.
Turf was a little wet, too.
Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, and you can see this is total offense so far this year, just how even these two teams are.
It all comes down to turnovers and the way that crazy thing bounces.
Or slips out of somebody's hands, as it just did a minute ago when John Shire tried to put it down the hole for a Tony Franklin field goal. Eagles in that three-man front, as they will be all day. White, quick screen to Drew Pearson. He's got some room and some blockers. Drew Pearson, first down Dallas. Knocked out of bounds in front of the Eagle bench. They help him stay up. Bernard Wilson knocked him out of bounds. Dallas first down.
Good block was made by Tony Hill, number 80. I don't know if we've ever seen him make a block before on replay, but number 80 comes and kicks the right cornerback Herm Edwards out. Pretty good play, boy. The finesse again, a good screen to a most dangerous, slippery little guy you'll ever see. You can see the good block also by Donovan out in front. Put that ball away, and Drew will.
20-yard pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. The line of scrimmage out at their own 44. No scores yet. 8:53 left to play in the first quarter in Philadelphia. I guess they feel they've got to throw. Complete. This is Jay Salvi, the backup tight end who could play just about anywhere.
He just goes down and tries to look for a hole between the four linebackers, and that time he unfortunately went near Bill Berge. White, by the way, only had 4 INTs coming in, so that was only his 5th of the season. He is the #1 passer in the NFC, maybe in all of football. I'm not sure of that.
He is. Rating of something like 110. Jaworski, by the way, is number 4 in the NFC. Double tight end set up again for Dallas. Drew Pearson now moves up on the line, and Jay Saldi goes in motion. And the first running play has Dorsett Pangloy for a Dallas first down, and he hunted that one.
Dorsett occasionally makes too many lateral moves before he gets it going straight ahead. But if he gets headed upfield, you better head him off at the pass. Here goes the man in motion, Saldi. Good block on Berge by Scott, the right guard. And Dorsett, though he looks small, is extremely strong.
Had a tough time against the Eagles last year, and they know, of course, that he is the key man in that Dallas running attack. He had his biggest game in his career 3 years ago. His rookie year against the Eagles. Here's Dorsett again for about 3, tripped up by Carl Hairston.
Great play by Carl Hairston, the defensive right end. This guy was driving a truck somewhere down in Maryland, and somebody said, why don't you go to Maryland Eastern Shore and see if you can play football? He weighed 230 at that time. Now Carl weighs 258, and if he doesn't get to the Pro Bowl this year, the people in Philadelphia are going to be hot.
Tony Hill comes out wide to the left, Drew Pearson to the right. A 1 tight end set up this time for Dallas. Ron Springs got to carry the ball. Dorsett on his 3rd consecutive. Penalty marker down as Dorsett whirls down to about the 35, shy of a first down. Again, it's number 55, Frank LeMaster, who makes the tackle.
I think they may have tackled Bigfoot Harrison at the left defensive end spot.
Cowboys have an injured player, and it's Dorsett, I believe. Remember, he got hurt here last year, and that's when Ron Springs came in and did such a good job. In fact, he says that's the day he became a pro. Carl Hairston, it appears, also was shaken up for the Eagles. Remember, there's still a penalty marker down, and they've moved it back. Here's Cal Lepore.
Holding, 62. Offense, 2nd down.
Fitzgerald against Bigfoot Harrison. Bigfoot, by the way, weighs about 285 and stands 6'8" from Vanderbilt, and he's just getting his legs under him.
As they attend to Dorsett, and we attempt to find out what the problem is, we'll leave you for just a minute with the score, 0-0. Over on the Dallas bench, here's what happened to Dorsett.
And what he's saying right now on the sidelines is, come on, lungs. Watch what happens. Logan to the left and Carl Hairston to the right. They just pinch him, knock all the air out, I'm sure. See if the ribs are okay. He just got pinched.
And then LeMaster, along with the other 2, fell on top of him. Something like 700 pounds or more. 2nd down for Dallas after the penalty, and 17 back at midfield. Eagles are blitzing. Cowboys pick it up. White goes down. His arm started forward.
Claude Humphrey came in from the outside, but you're right, Pat. LeMaster blitzed from the inside formation of the 34. The Eagles have only really blitzed about 4 times all year. C-55 coming in. That occupies 1 blocker. And here comes old Claude. They had a game on up front.
He barely got his arm started forward. And now you talk about the skilled positions and the guns that the Cowboys can fire at you. Now they put in Preston Pearson and Butch Johnson.
How about the fact that Preston Pearson cleared waivers in this league and was allowed to stay with Dallas?
And Dorsett is back. And Danny White will operate from the shotgun and take the one-handed snap again from John Fitzgerald. Deep for Tony Hill. Got it. Dropped it. Whoa. Almost. Richard Blackmore was the Eagle defender back with him. He almost had it.
But actually, Bernard Wilson, the young man from Vanderbilt, scraped it out of Tony Hill's hands and didn't know he did it. Watch this. Watch Bernard now to the right part of your screen, 22. Hill just getting away and doesn't know he's there. And all of a sudden, the ball showed up loose.
And Danny White, who just fired that bomb, is back in punt formation. Averaging 40.6, and he was really in good form before the game.
He can run, too. You got to make him honest.
And you know he can throw.
Oh.
A high hanging kick. Fair catch signal for. And it'll roll dead. The Cowboys down it at the 6. Wally Henry was the deep man for Philadelphia. It was downed by Guy Brown. 44-yard kick. The Eagles will operate from their own 6-yard line. Mark Mosley has just hit a field goal for the Redskins, and they lead the Cardinals 10-0. First quarter score. Here there is no score with 6:19 left in the first quarter. The Eagles have the ball at their own 8-yard line, Market. Jaworski has Montgomery and Leroy Harris, the running backs. It's Montgomery. Breaks one, but Ed Jones kept the clamp on him, and Mike Hegman finished putting him down.
Some people have run on the Cowboys, but you really don't do that as a steady diet. They're allowing about 3.9 a rush. You can see it's really difficult. Jones at 6'9", 265 or so, you're not going to blow him off the line of scrimmage. The amazing thing is that the young Dallas secondary plays a lot of man-to-man. Steve Wilson and company just go out there and hook it on like they've been there 5 years and are playing extremely well.
Bruce Huther is the middle linebacker for Dallas. I don't know what's happened to Brunig. We'll find out. Here is Montgomery again. No, this is Harris. And once again smothered by Too Tall Jones. Big Ed continues to get better every week.
Stautner said he's playing the pass as well as ever, but that playing the running game, he's just getting back to where he was before he went into pugilism. And out again.
I got a feeling there'll be some pugilism here before this afternoon is over.
Yeah, this could be a rather interesting contest. There he is.
Boy, is he big.
Small, not able to play the game, got great speed, 6'9", 260 some odd.
Billy Campfield is the deep back this time. Montgomery on the flank to the right. And Jaworski's looking in his direction. He's got it. That's a good throw and a first down. Jaworski to Montgomery.
What a pass. What a pass by Ron Jaworski, because the rush came in and they had their hands up. Watch what he has to throw it through. A giant picket fence. Watch everybody start getting them up. Man, that is concentration. And Wilbert is tough on the other end of it, isn't he?
12-yard gain. Waters on the tackle.
Let's see where Wilbert comes through. He did a swing fan from this side. Boy, they were right there. That's a great throw.
First down, Eagles down at the 20 now. A little bit more breathing room. Leroy Harris in there and the ball carrier at the moment. And again, running is a very difficult task for Harris. Randy White and Harvey Martin made the tackle.
Some people think that if you work against the Cowboys and you're trying to find a minor weakness, it might be the total linebacker play. But for some reason, you look at that young secondary and you think, gee, they've replaced everybody in one full season. You ought to be able to throw on it, but that's been tough to do.
And they keep, as you mentioned before, getting better every week. Harold Carmichael split out to the left. Charlie Smith to the right as Jaworski looks to his right. Fumble. No pass here. The Cowboys recover. Touchdown.
Randy White came through and made the hit, and I think Hegman recovered for the touchdown.
That is correct. Randy White put the waffle on Jaworski before his arm started forward.
About the 14th sack. Sacks are not that important, but these kind are. Look at Randy White coming through. The arm had not moved up yet. That ball is a live bomb.
And Hegman, number 58, falls on it. Dallas jumps on the scoreboard and on the football. They lead 6-0.
One of Dick Vermeil's largest principles is do not make a turnover deep in your own territory. This one, of course, was an explosion.
Charlie Waters will hold for Raphael Septien. He is having a good year. Has not missed an extra point. Waters holds. Septien hits. It is 7-0 Dallas with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
What a boost to an offense, though, to have your defense go out and score the first touchdown. If anybody was a little bit tight on the offensive side under Tom Landry, now they've got to say, all right, there are 7 we didn't expect to get today.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. Leonard Toews is, of course, the owner of the Eagles, and Tony Franklin is the barefoot kicker. There's that message for you.
Well, you know, each of these teams, though, Clint Murchison and Leonard Toews, they really stay out of the football part, and they just give their team whatever they need to get the best squad on the field. And Murchison told me he called one play for Landry from upstairs one day, and it lost 8 yards. And Landry looked up at the owner's box, and Clint said he never got into it again.
Back when they were losing, someone said to Murchison, we got to do something for Landry to restore his confidence. So he gave him a 10-year contract. Louis Chiamona again. They're about to 24 before the Dallas Swarm, led by Anthony Dickerson, is down early. Cincinnati 7, Minnesota nothing. Pete Johnson, the touchdown for the Bengals. 0-0 Green Bay and Cleveland in the second quarter. Bart Starr's team playing better. Seattle 3, the New York Jets nothing. Up at Shea Stadium.
That's only the 6th fumble the Eagles have lost all year. Of course, none will probably be analyzed any more carefully than that one.
1st and 10 Philadelphia from the 25. Jaworski drops looking outside. Throws behind Leroy Harris. Not much pressure that time, but he looked at Harris from the moment he left. Sometimes that hurts.
And Ron's got to be thinking now a little bit about pressure. The quarterbacks can ignore it and throw. Well, you've been sacked and it's been knocked into for a touchdown. You do think about pressure, and that time he didn't have much rhythm.
The 6th defensive back setup for the Dallas unit. Double tight end setup for the Eagles with Spagnuolo in the game and Leroy Harris the lone setback. Here's Jaworski. Here come the Cowboys pressure again, and too tall Jones almost had him. Jaworski hangs in there and completes it to Keith Creppley.
Again, what a great throw. This time, whatever the play that was sent in was, Ron knew he could stay in there. He gets a good drop. You can see Woody Peoples working on Larry Cole. And you're right, Too Tall had just gotten into the inside, and Ron didn't even look at him. A great reception, too.
Let's look at him by himself, 72.
He's working against Sizemore. They said his feet are only topped by Fred Astaire and maybe Gene Kelly. Look at that Too Tall coming.
First down, Eagles, nevertheless. Montgomery back in with Harris. Just outside their own 40. Eagles trail 7-0. Fake to Montgomery. Going deep for Charlie Smith, thrown behind him. Wilson back there on the coverage. And as you say, every week he looks more confident, Wilson.
And it's a good place to throw it. If you're in trouble and you're going to unload it, and you're running a straight by the outside receiver, give him a chance to come back for it. Sometimes the defensive back is so busy hustling that he can't look back for the ball. I'll tell you, Steve Wilson could play the corner.
Forget he played offense last year, was converted to defense in training camp, and continues to get better.
Jaworski's 4 of 8 now for 51 yards.
And he's been under a lot of pressure. Again, if you joined us late, the Dallas touchdown came when Jaworski was hit by Randy White. The ball rolled into the end zone, and it was recovered for a touchdown by Hegman. 2nd and 10, Philadelphia. Jaworski fires, complete again to Krepfle.
Oh.
And again, an excellent throw. This is Spagnola, the other tight end.
What a pass rush. Now, Spagnola is bigger than Krepfle. He comes from Yale. He's about 6'5", about 235 pounds. Watch the pass rush by Dallas. You want to talk about some people on the hunt. Here's, in fact, Randy White almost had him before the throw got out of there.
A 20-yard completion. Waters and Thurman brought Spagnola down, but not until the Eagles pick up a first down in Dallas territory at the Cowboy 39. Dallas leads 7-0.
That Yale kid's tough, too, you know. It's surprising sometimes.
You better be today. Jaworski throwing on almost every play, fires off balance. Penalty marker down as Wilson jumped over the back of Charlie Smith. Too bad because the pass was thrown high anyway.
If the ball had been thrown probably accurately, there would have been no flag. A young cornerback might make that decision.
Pass interference, 45, defense, it's a first down.
Now watch how Jaworski throws a wobbler here. It's too high. He's really being pressured. I believe that was Larry Cole, was it?
It was.
The playing cornerback is a lot like being a flyer in the Navy and you're landing on carriers. You get one good shot at it and you better not, be wrong.
Jaworski sends Smith again out to the right. Carmichael moves in as the setback. And now Harris comes back with him. Harris moved too soon.
He tried to set up after he made the original set, but you've got to come to a complete stop for a full count.
It's against Dallas. He did come to a full stop, I guess.
Now, Harvey Martin is probably saying, wait a minute, this guy moved and didn't set up. But they said, well, he did set up for the count, even though he was in an odd position. Watch number 20 now, obtained from Miami.
Offside, 5-0, defense, still first down.
Watch number 20 come out. Whoop. Pretty good presence of mind.
They said that linebacker D.D. Lewis was the offender, Tom Landry. Boy, he's got some good-looking threads.
Right color for him, too, right?
Right. Pitches back to Montgomery. And Wilbert gets a couple.
Uh-oh.
It might have been a late hit.
It's not that, but it might be the hip pointer again, or the groin. Oh, boy, this young man is something special. Have you ever seen a guy that can walk through the dressing room and not say anything, and all the players, while you're talking to him, their eyes go to him as he walks by? From the eye, the toss, nothing fancy about this, folks. You don't like to play football, you can't run this play. Good tackle. Hey, that's Dennis Thurman making the tackle.
Yes, somebody knocked Too Tall Jones over the top of it. Watch his knee buckle just a little bit.
Again, a running back cannot protect hips and things. You're just too vulnerable to so many people.
This, of course, is Wilbert Montgomery, one of the great finds that the Eagles have made in recent years in the draft. What was he, a 6th-round pick?
They traded Bird Lavender to Washington, got a 6th-round pick, and made a vital mistake. They drafted Wilbert Montgomery out of Abilene Christian. Incredible.
Still down, Louis Giamona, who is, by chance, Dick Vermeil's nephew. is the running back who would replace Montgomery if he can't go again. It is his knee.
Okay, remember, Too Tall at 265 is going to come over the top. This is all good, clean football. It is, unfortunately, an extremely tough game of contact. And Too Tall is being knocked around by Jerry Sizemore. It's not like he had any choice.
Cleveland on a field goal by Don Cockcroft now leads the Green Bay Packers 3-0. You look at these two teams, and they are both in the upper echelon and have been for the last 3 or 4 years, but they were built in entirely different ways.
Vermeil's got 4 free agents starting, and I think he's only got like 10 guys left from the original team.
That's right. 21 draft choices, 15 free agents, 8 came in trades, and 1 on waivers.
But you know what his big theory is? If you get into the fast lane and get into trouble, you better take a hike. If you're not a good character player, Vermeil will simply run you off.
Montgomery is up and off under his own power. It did appear that it was his right knee that was the source of the problem, but at the moment it doesn't appear to be too severe.
You're liable to see 31 back very quickly.
Right now you've got Leroy Harris, and I guess Giamona might be Camfield. It's Giamona. Used to be with the Jets.
Carmichael's only caught 1 pass so far, right?
Right. Eagles shift around in the backfield. It's 2nd down and 3. And this is Leroy Harris with some room. Harris stays on his feet and is near a 1st down. I think he has it. D.D. Lewis knocked him out of bounds.
Leroy used the old stiff arm. You don't see it much because the backs don't have time to use it, and you're liable to get it torn off. He's down to 215 pounds. He's changed his attitude about football and life. Darn, he's running like a darn halfback now.
He said he never knew what it meant to be an Eagle until last week, although he's been here for, what, 3 years?
He made the longest run in Eagle history one day, and tackles and guards were catching him, but he made it.
He did get enough for a 1st down at the 14. Cowboys leading 7-0, but the Eagles on the move. Jaworski looking, throws. He's hit just as he lets it go. Intended for Charlie Smith. Dennis Thurman over there with Smith. He looked to Carmichael. Glenn Carano over on the sideline loosening up.
He got some action last week, didn't he, against San Francisco, huh?
He often does this during a game. It doesn't mean necessarily that anything is wrong with Danny White.
D.D. Lewis, by the way, blitzed from the weak side of the formation that time and almost had Ron before he threw the football. The Cowboys don't blitz much either this year. They're playing very straight.
That means those people in the secondary are perhaps playing better than they expected. The youngsters have produced. Carmichael and Smith now both on the same side, and look out. Keep your eye peeled in this direction. To the right-hand side of your screen. Carmichael across the middle cuts. Jaworski is swarmed on by Dexter Quinkscale, Randy White, and company.
Another blitz. This shows that the Cowboys are going to let it all out today. This time he wanted Giamona in the left flat, the only remaining back. They thought they could break him over and get him outside, but the blitz came. It was a perfect time to call the blitz. Jaworski couldn't even throw the ball.
Randy White was the first man there, and Quinkscale arrived a half a second later.
You interviewed Randy White before the game. Is he a scary physical specimen, number 54?
They were yelling at him out of the stand saying, "Go home, White." He comes from this area, you know.
I know, from Wilmington.
He said after the interview, "I don't really think they like me here." I'm pretty sure he's right about that.
Any city he goes to, he's liable to get booed, but if I had to go to war, I'd have to have 54 with me.
By my side.
Eagles have had 11 plays in this drive. Vermeil's another one of his living creeds, and of course Tom Landry has the same system. Vermeil wants one 12-play drive per game.
The word on Wilbert Montgomery, it was a knee problem, a knee strain, and he may or may not be back. They are wrapping it right now in ice. So we just don't know yet.
Otho Davis is a trainer here, and he is so serious about his job, but they all are, in all the cities now. When you and I played, sometimes they'd put cross band-aids on a knee and send you back out, but they know what they're doing, and they have valuable property and treat it that way.
Was he the trainer when you were here?
No, and I wasn't valuable property, so that would exclude me.
That's why you got the cross band-aids, I guess.
And an aspirin.
That's the way they used to patch our jerseys. The Eagles have taken a timeout. There are only 8 seconds remaining till the end of the quarter. Dallas leading 7-0. So as we wind down toward the end of the first half, remember the Eagles only have 2 timeouts remaining. Third down. And 18 at the 22. The quick draw play to Giamona. They'll settle for 3 if they can get the ball down correctly.
Good play by Ed Jones. Solid tackle.
And that's the end of the quarter. And when the Eagles, if indeed they do try a field goal with Tony Franklin, will kick in the other direction. Cowboys lead at the end of 1, 7-0. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. See who's been most successful in the second quarter. Here's Tony Franklin.
That was a bad snap on that first one.
35 yards out. Chara holds. Franklin busts it. It's good. Tony Franklin, the barefoot one, puts the Eagles on the scoreboard.
From Big Springs, Texas, huh? And then Texas Aggies.
About the size of that belt buckle he had on today. James Jones is number 23. Tony Franklin will kick off. Good high kick. This is Timmy Newsom for Dallas, who returns it. Gets out about the 22 before he's knocked down by Al Chesley. On the Eagle coverage, that's the story of that Philadelphia scoring drive.
It was actually a 12-play drive.
Kept the ball 3 minutes, 18 seconds. Dallas has not been able to do much on offense.
Look at this dude, huh?
The Eagle fans come with a lot of equipment, don't they?
Probably took that off a squad car.
Two tight ends for Dallas. Jay Salvi on the left. Billy Joe Dupree on the right. Dorsett back in the game behind Ron Springs. Here's Dorsett. To about the 24, perhaps 25. Bill Berge will be on the bottom of that pile.
If you run it to 34, Patrick, and I'm just being told this because we used to call it a 5, but if you run straight ahead, you can run into the bubble a little bit. By that I mean between the linemen and into the secondary, into the linebackers. And Ron Springs is the person I think that probably the Eagles fear more than anybody else because of that.
That's a good illustration of what you speak of right there. It didn't look like Dorsett got much. And it's 2nd and 5. 6, we say, closer to 5. Here's Ron Springs' first carry. A little tentative. Carl Harrison took him down first.
They're going to belt Springs because he had a very big day here last December on the winning Dallas game that really hurt everybody that was connected with the Eagles. This is a direct run, but good defense here. And Carl Harrison seems to come from nowhere. I think Donovan had him blocked once.
This has to be the biggest sports weekend in the history of this great city. The Phillies, of course, in the World Series. That's later this afternoon. Flyers play the Canadians at the Spectrum tonight.
Across the street.
Just back of here. And the Eagles and the Cowboys in this battle for first place in the NFC East. Timeout Dallas. Some confusion. So, as far as the timeout situation is concerned, both teams now will have 2 left in the first half. 7-3, Dallas over Philadelphia. Cowboys 3rd down and 3, almost 4, in fact. And a tough call here.
They are a 50% 3rd down conversion team. They're one of the best.
Second best to Pittsburgh in the whole league. Springs is the man on the move in the backfield, and now it's Drew Pearson in motion. Look for something unusual. Andy White with with all kinds of time. He'll have the first down. It is Drew Pearson. It could have been either Pearson or Saldi. They both were open.
Pearson runs the 6 pattern probably better than anybody in football. The 6 is when you start out, let people clear out in front of you, and then go just behind the linebackers. Watch this now. Good pass blocking. He doesn't have much pressure on him. And here's number 88, Royale Young, the #1 draft for the Eagles, followed him all the way across and just trailed him. Almost got the face mask.
First down for Dallas at their own 36. Joe Theismann has just thrown another touchdown pass in that game for Washington. Here's Dorsett. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage and tripped up by number 78, Carl Hairston. Watch him, how fast he penetrates.
How does Carl Hairston get there? Watching the top part of your screen, he took the inside on Donovan and just got a foot. Donovan, we've seen him block Leroy Selman, some of the great people, one of the great technique blockers, and Carl just gambled, I believe.
And gambled correctly. Give Dorsett 2, make it 2nd and 8.
The first quarter, Dallas ran 11 plays. The Eagles ran 27, but the Cowboys lead.
Draw play to Dorsett. No gain again. The Eagle defense converges quickly. It's Dennis Harrison this time.
Bigfoot. He's got a master's degree from Vanderbilt. I once said he ate 4 chickens at every sitting, and he said his mother called and said, how did Brookshire know what you did at the dinner table? But now he's on a weight schedule, and he tries to stay at 280. Let's see where he comes from. Good draw play. He just came over the blocker. I believe that was Rafferty trying to pull on him.
The Liberty Bells. 3 wide receivers now as Butch Johnson is coming to the game. So is Preston Pearson. White with all kinds of time. Herman Edwards, the defender. Butch Johnson, the intended receiver, incomplete, and Dallas and Danny White will have to punt.
What a game here. Butch Johnson's best pattern is the post pattern. Herm Edwards had to worry about the post, so the deep sideline should be open. Oh, boy, nobody but a defensive back would appreciate what a play that is.
What a play.
This guy is so dangerous. We've seen him make more clutch catches than starters in this league. Drives him off. He's thinking post, almost slipped a little bit on that wet turf. That's just recovery.
Danny White with Wally Henry back deep for the Eagles. Another good kick. The coverage is not very good, however. And Henry has a lot of room. Wally Henry still on his feet. Out to the 43. Doug Cosby made the tackle. But Henry gets him back in pretty good shape. A 47-yard punt and a good return by Wally Henry gets it all the way back to the 43 where the Eagles will take over. They trail by 4. Here's that punt return again by Wally Henry.
Vermeil moved him strictly to punt returns the other day because it took him off kickoff returns because he needed these busted plays. 1 arm tackle, 2 arm tackles, and now he gets crunched. Henry played with him at UCLA.
Like he might have been shaken up just a little bit. That's Wally Henry who returned the punt. The Eagles have it. 1st and 10. Billy Campfield in the backfield now with Giamona. That's a throwing group, isn't it? But you got to have protection, too. Wide open is Campfield. He might score. Steve Wilson and Aaron Mitchell finally get it down at the 5.
It's a brilliant play, though. This looks a lot like Sid Gilman to me. Sid works with the passers and the quarterbacks. They know that Too Tall Jones is going to put on a rush. Watch him roll around Too Tall. Just get outside. And now Jaworski can see it. And Campfield has come from the other side and bent it across the middle. He's got about 9.5 speed, or at least he used to.
They put it down at the 7 where it'll be 1st and goal for the Eagles. Out comes Charlie Smith. Harry Harrington is in the game at the moment, along with Giamona.
Boy, does it get tough down here, though. Now you got to block everybody. Finesse time is over.
Double tight ends, Crepway and Spagnola as the Eagles with all the racket and And all the green pom-poms can't hear and take a timeout. They have one left. They have it first and goal on the 7. A 50-yard pickup on that pass from Jaworski to Billy Campfield.
The Eagle defense that time only allowed Dallas in the first quarter to have the ball for a little over 3 minutes. The Eagles had 11 minutes, but the Dallas defense scored. And those all count, don't they? Here's the fake inside. Campfield is already swinging for the left side of the formation over. Boy, he found a hole in that pocket, didn't he?
That was D.D. Lewis, by the way, who almost had Jaworski before he got rid of it. Good fake. Tom Landry, whose expression never changes. Gene Stallings alongside Tom. Jaworski's got his message from Dick Vermeil and is back in. Look at those green pom-poms. This was Green Day in Philadelphia. Just about everybody here has got one of those things and waving. There's the biggest Eagle of all. Down in that end zone, asking for quiet. First and goal at the 7 for Philadelphia. Jaworski, the quarterback. He gives to Giamona. A couple.
Well, that's a heck of a place to send a 180-pounder, but he is tough. He led the nation his junior year at Utah State and was 4th rushing his senior year. They double-teamed Randy White. Looks like Walters might be holding Harvey Martin a little bit.
Good block.
Don't see a yellow flag. It's not bad.
2 good blocks, in fact. It's a wonder they didn't get more than that. Eagle fans love this football team. They went through years of frustration. The last couple have been rewarding. Jaworski's going to throw, looking for Carmichael high, probably. Jaworski's going to run. Now he does throw. He hits Carmichael. They can't cover him forever. Aaron Mitchell was chasing Big Harold, but it's a touchdown, Philadelphia.
I believe Dutton put the big rush on number 7, but that time the good, quick feet got Jaworski out of trouble. No linemen were downfield, and that is a large target.
Took him just 3 plays to go 57 yards after it had been set up by the punt return by Wally Henry. Here's Jaworski again.
Now Dutton went by on the inside. Now Too Tall Jones. You've got to throw it 12 feet to get it over Too Tall.
Tony Franklin with Shira holding. And the Eagles have taken the lead now 9-7. 10-7. A proud bird at the moment is the Philadelphia Eagle. They lead Dallas 10-7. 9:13 left in the first half.
Why was he so angry looking?
James Jones deep. You look at the Philadelphia scoring drive. One had put him ahead. 50-yard pass from Jaworski to Campfield, and then the touchdown from Jaworski to Harold Carmichael. Good kick, chases Timmy Newsom back into the corner of the end zone. They'll bring it out. Newsom outside the 20 to about the 21. Penalty marker down. From way across the field, Richard Blackmore made the tackle. We'll see who this is against.
Jaworski is 7 of 12 for 126 yards and the touchdown.
Clipping against Dallas.
Here's John Shara. And that wasn't even called. That's just football there.
That's a good example that they play for the opposite teams.
Personal foul. Clipping. 71 on the return. First down.
Pat, this is the big scoring quarter for the Cowboys. All year long, they've been able to put points on in the second period. They've scored 65 points in the second period alone.
They haven't been able to get on track on offense today. This crowd is really on its feet. And at full volume. Here's Ron Springs. Met right at the line of scrimmage and knocked back. Hit by Dennis Harrison, I think.
And again, he was not allowed to run straight ahead. Carl Hairston came down from the defensive end spot and forced him to make a move at the line of scrimmage and go laterally, and he just doesn't run well laterally.
LeMaster is the first man on the Eagle defense to make the hit. Billy Joe Dupree goes out for Dallas. They give him a couple of yards, make it 2nd and 8 at the 13. Butch Johnson and Drew Pearson both split wide to the right. And Tony Hill, I beg your pardon.
You better get Tony Hill right now. The guy that can break the game open is number 80.
Eddie White looking left. Almost picked off by the Eagles. Drew Pearson, the intended receiver, or was it Butch Johnson? Bernard Wilson almost made the interception.
I think Herm Edwards got a hand on it, too. That's the quick post that Butch runs so well. I still would keep my eye on number 80. Whatever happens in the next few minutes, try to put a rope around him or take yourself out of the game if you're playing defense, you know?
This 3rd and 8. And again, they put Drew Pearson and Tony Hill to the right and Butch Johnson wide to the left. And they operate this time from the shotgun. See if the Eagles blitz it on 3rd and long. They fake a blitz. And they do not. But it's a 4-man rush. White throws. He has number 26. Guess who? Preston Pearson. Reggie Wilkes knocked him down.
He came right in the wake of number 80, Tony Hill. They call it a trailer. Number 26, and we probably can't pick it up either. Even Sandy Grossman can't pick up where he came from. The players can't. How can we? And here's 26 showing up right behind Tony Hill. Good play.
16-yard gain gives Dallas a little room to operate. Here's where he came from. That's his feet at the top of the frame.
There he is. He waits for everybody to clear out, and here he comes slowly across the middle. Open.
Dorsett. Nothing doing. Carl Harrison first. Bill Berge second.
Carl Harrison is, if a player can play possessed, he has really got it. They say it's the same way in practice, that even in dummy scrimmage, he goes sideline to sideline and is rapping you just to let you know that he's there.
2 yards for Dorsett. 2nd and 8. Eddie White having one of his frustrating days so far. We saw him start slowly against Tampa Bay and then come on later. Fakes to Dorsett. Wide open is Ron Springs. Where'd he come from? Springs lowers that shoulder and bangs, and the penalty marker goes down. It's going to be against the Eagles this time. Herman Edwards, the tackler.
They're going to call unsportsmanlike. I don't think it's because they knocked Ron Springs out of bounds. They must have hit the face mask as they did it.
Either that or they hit him out of bounds.
Good call. The 3rd man out of the backfield. Watch Springs down, number 20. He'll set up like he's going to block. No, he goes ahead in. Here comes Bigfoot Harrison. Sidearm, a good spiral. And I'm telling you, number 20 has a lot of running room. And here's where it happens right here. The 2nd man, I believe it was Roynell Young, might have hit him out of
Personal
bounds.
foul, unnecessary roughness, 43 defense, 1st down.
James Jones has, it was Roynell Young, by the way. James Jones has replaced Tony Dorsett in the Dallas backfield. They have a 1st down in Eagle territory at the 40 now. Philadelphia leading 10-7. Dorsett might have been shaken up just a little bit, and Jones, number 23. Lead again to Drew Pearson. Young Herman Edwards knocked him out of bounds this time.
Herm Edwards, you know who he faces week after week? He'll face 88, then he'll face 80, Tony Hill. Whoever the best receiver is, Pat Tilley, Edwards ends up having to face him. And yet he still goes through life smiling and laughing and helping out the other young cornerbacks.
Tom Landry still calls all the plays for Danny White, as he did for Roger Staubach. 2nd down, Dallas. They need 4 at the Eagle 34. Drew Pearson back in the backfield, but he will depart. The give is to Ron Springs, and the takedown is by Carl Hairston. Almost. yards away. Still on his feet. Struggles to get back to 25. Bernard Wilson finally made the tackle. Dennis Harrison.
You think Springs doesn't have good legs? Watch the wheels on number 20. Now he starts out. Carl Harrison beats Donovan. Tries to make the tackle. Can't. Watch Springs now. Watch how many green shirts Berge and company are coming to the left. They're looking for somebody to hit anybody.
3rd down and 6. At the 36-yard line to Philadelphia. Preston Pearson is back in the game. Shotgun formation again. They're spread out all over the field. They can put a lot against you. The Eagles. Not much of a pass rush. Drew Pearson makes the catch. Herman Edwards with him, but it's a Dallas first down, a good throw and a good catch.
Remember 2 weeks ago when Drew said in a very low-keyed way, Danny White just hasn't found me yet. I run good patterns in practice, but in games he keeps looking somewhere else. Last week he got, what, 3 touchdown
catches? 3 touchdown passes.
Now watch him jump, give himself up. By jumping and taking his feet off the ground, he sort of protected the ball and made a soft catch out of it.
Tony Dorsett headed for the Dallas locker room. The Bears will be here next week. Vince Evans is now their quarterback, replacing Mike Phipps, and Evans scored their touchdown on the 1-yard run.
White is now 7 of 12 for 86 yards. He's getting it going.
Salvi in motion. Jones, the young running back, swings down to about the 15. 4:50 left first half. Dallas has 2 timeouts remaining. Cleveland 10-0 now over Green Bay. Mike Pruitt scored the Browns touchdown on a 1-yard run. 6-yard pickup by the young running back from Mississippi State, James Jones.
And you know, the offense that this defense is working against has scored 176 points. Now 55 of them or whatever it was came last week, and you shouldn't count those sometimes.
Springs and Jones. Fake by White, who throws almost a touchdown. The receiver was Drew Pearson, I think, and he almost came up with a diving catch.
Darnell Young had a chance to intercept the ball, and the rookie is hot, and he pounded the turf, and he should. This is a ball you got to catch in the end zone. If you get a stray, a wobbler, and Danny this time can't quite make up his mind.
It was Butch Johnson, not Drew Pearson.
Can't let him in the end zone at all without having people hounding him, can you?
He has made some great catches, and many of them in the end zone. Dorsett has been taken to the dressing room for x-rays on his ribs.
If you've got a big play in the first half, this is it. The 3rd down call right here.
He does not operate from the shotgun. The Eagles blitz. White threw early. Intended for Drew Pearson. And Raphael Septien comes in.
This is about the 6th blitz the Eagles have used the entire season. See Berge, number 66, coming? The Banditos are on the run. Actually, Danny White didn't have much choice. Young was in pretty good position on Drew.
Raphael Septien has had a good season so far. 5 out of 7 on his field goal attempts, and he hasn't missed an extra point.
These 2 teams have pretty solid kicking games. Maybe the best per team, you know, around the NFC.
For Raphael Septien, but Charlie Waters putting it down. Septien is good and strong, too. He really hit it. So that makes it 10-10.
I think we're not seeing 2 great defensive teams. We see a couple of points on the board once in a while, but in between there's nothing but leather popping. Helmets cracking.
Dallas touchdown came when Randy White sacked Jaworski. The ball rolled into the end zone. It was recovered by Mike Hegman for a touchdown. Forget at the halftime. Scores and highlights with Brandon Irv as we swing you back to the studios in New York. The Eagles scoring. Touchdown pass from Jaworski to Carmichael and a field goal by Tony Franklin. 10-10.
2 classy organizations on display here. The Eagles all the way to the very top, and the same for the Dallas Cowboys. Consistently treat the players extremely fair, I think.
Septian will kick off. Billy Campfield back deep for the Eagles, standing now at the 3. Drives it hard. Drives Campfield back to the 1. Juggles a minute. And then swings to the outside with some room. Campfield out to the 40, but hold everything. Penalty markers down. Dexter Clinkscale finally got Campfield, but a penalty marker down, remember.
He was at Kansas with Nolan Cromwell, a very fine safety man for the Rams. He's had the flu, the awful flu. He's had nibbling leg injuries. And now Billy Campfield wants to play, and he can really take kickoffs back to the 30 straight on.
I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to ask you this.
What's that?
What are nibbling leg injuries?
Oh, well, they're the kind that don't put you in intensive care, but they hurt a lot. I should know about that, too, shouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Intensive care.
Calapour.
Personal foul. Clipping 5-9 on the return. It's first down.
Al Chesley is number 59.
Chesley's the big linebacker out of Pittsburgh University. He actually didn't clip him until he gets him on the ground and nails him. That's a takedown.
That looks serious. Pitch is back to Campfield, and he slips down on the wet turf. They had a college football game here last night between Temple and Akron, and they wiped out a lot of the lines in the rain, so if they look a little dim, that's the reason.
This Marion Campbell drawing X's and O's. When he and I played together, we used to do it in the dirt. But it didn't work like it does now for him. He's a great defensive coach.
It won't work on artificial turf. 10-10, 3:15 left to play in the first half. Clock running now. Eagles second down on the 11. Second and 14, it appears. Jaworski back to throw. Chase moves, throws. And the pass is complete. They gain about 3 yards. Instead of a loss, he salvaged something to Leroy Harris.
It's a good thing he threw the football because Randy White had the crosshair sight right on the quarterback. See if you can watch number 54. Jaworski has become such a complete quarterback, and this is part of it, knowing when to and when not to keep the ball in your hand. Watch 54 come out of that double block. Oh, unload it anywhere. Throw it to the Liberty Bells.
Benny Barnes made the tackle on Leroy Harris. So it's third down now and 11 for the Eagles at their own 14. 10-10 tie. As you would expect a game like this to take place. New Orleans leads Atlanta 7-0. Jaworski fires. Intended for Wally Henry, and he couldn't quite hang on.
Once in a while, Ron Jaworski will throw a slider, and I mean one that they would like in the World Series. That time he really hummed it. He knows he's getting some heat. And Wally Henry plays outside and plays flanker pretty well, but not often.
Deep man for Dallas is James Jones, standing back at the 45. And Max Runniger will punt out of the end zone. At least he'll start from the end zone for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Dallas gets the 2-minute warning here in 8 seconds. They'll be in good position to perhaps get Septian in good shape again.
Runniger has had much returned against him. And James Jones signaled for the fair catch. Cowboys will take over just shy of the 50-yard line. That's about Runniger's average, 37 yards. They'll get off a play before the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes, 1 second left.
Remember, Pat, that Danny Reeves worked with Danny White the entire offseason on getting, if anything, even a better 2-minute drill than they had with Roger Staubach, which I can't understand or believe. But they're good at it. We watched them get down and get some points a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't have much time. They can do it.
How's it against Tampa? Drew Pearson wide to the right. Tony Hill wide to the left. They'll stop it after this one for the 2-minute warning. Billy Joe Dupree is the man in motion this time. Look out. John Bunting on a blitz. Never touched by anyone.
John Bunting from the left outside This guy can't bench press 500 pounds or anything. He's got a bad wheel, but he came right by Billy Joe Dupree and got what he came for.
10-10 still. Liberty Bell.
Space Odyssey uniforms. Those are new jogging suits, I think.
Got knee pads.
Shoulder pads, too.
In case you fall down. Second down. 17 after that sack by John Bunting.
Second sack the Eagles have got. A big one, though. Again, it was a blitz.
So it'll be a shotgun formation this time for Danny White, and Preston Pearson is lined up next to him. Preston stays in the block this time. Or to accept the screen pass. Cuts to the middle, stays on his feet, and Preston Pearson, an unbelievable 35-year-old athlete. Randy Logan.
And he's never in a hurry to get there. He just sort of glides along. Good call, though. The screen. Boy, the Cowboys are really using it well today.
Dallas in a quick lineup on third down. First down or two more. And they throw this one away. Intended for Tony Hill. Broke the pattern, I think. Here's Pearson on the play before.
Here's the invisible man. He's going to block, isn't he? Aha! And he waits. He is so late doing it that everybody is cleared out, going to assignments. Bunting gets a pretty good shot at him. Finally, Logan makes it, along with Bernard Wilson.
With the score tied at 10, Danny White goes back in punt formation. The Cowboys will not go for it. Wally Henry back for the Eagles.
How long a field goal would that be? 62, huh?
Too long. White takes a look. Henry goes up with a fair catch signal. Lets it bounce. And it goes out of bounds. That's twice that White's been able to nail him down deep.
Danny White is really queuing it up. He's had a great year punting, even though he's having to play quarterback. The only problem he had was when Denver hit him after he had punted one day. They zeroed in on him and knocked him down, and they had to stop that around the league right away.
How about last week? When that ball goes through his legs, he runs it down and completes a pass to Saldi for a 43-yard gain.
And this week they tried to put it in, right?
One out of bounds at the 7. The Eagles have only one timeout remaining. Down deep in their own territory. Dallas has 2 left. And depending on what happens, they might use those to try to pin the Eagles back.
And don't use a turnover here. Don't burn a turnover in your own territory if you're wearing that green uniform. This is very touchy time.
A 10-10 tie at Vet Stadium in Philadelphia. Here's Jaworski. That, I believe, is Billy Campfield. The Cowboys stack him up at the line of scrimmage.
Randy White defies any descriptive terms I can use for him. He went over the double team block that time, took Morrison, threw him one way, and Petey Perot the other, and just smashed Campfield.
They let the clock run.
Darn, he's some player, that 50. Number 1 draft choice. What, 75 was it? Out of Maryland?
Right.
He's played the same intensity every time I've ever seen him.
Every play, no matter what the score. Clock still running, now 44 seconds left. And again, the Cowboys stack it up after a couple. Billy Campfield, the ball carrier, thought perhaps Dallas might stop it here.
That time, Perot and Morris finally got Randy White off the line of scrimmage, and they pin him. They just double-team block him, drive him off, and dump him down to the left of the screen there. And they got up like they had just whipped John Hill Sullivan.
Big John Dutton was a mountain himself. Number 78 on a tackle. Clock still running. Again, if you missed it, Tony Dorsett was taken to the locker room about 5 or 6 minutes ago for x-rays on bruised ribs.
And on the other side, Wilbert Montgomery had to leave with a strained right knee, even though he came in with a groin injury and a hip pointer and had played pretty well. So the 2 best running backs are not on the field.
So in front of a sellout crowd at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Philadelphia, the 2 teams with identical records of 5-1 have an identical score at the half, 10-10.
Reminded me of the malaprop that is attributed to Yogi Berra. When DiMaggio turned to him one time and said, what time is it? And he said, you mean right now?
Just one of many from Berra. Nobody ever goes there. It's too crowded. 10-10. We told you in the beginning how evenly matched these two teams are. The score here at the halftime is 10-10, and they're still pretty even.
Patrick, both teams came in averaging over 150 yards rushing. The Cowboys have 25 yards rushing in the first half. The Eagles have 34 yards rushing. 91 yards for the Cowboys throwing, Danny White and company, 99 for Ron Jaworski. 2 sacks for the Eagles, only 1 sack against the Dallas Cowboys. It is so even that it would be rather ridiculous to put up the stats, but they are just as even as the score is, and each staff wants consistency, and that's exactly what we've gotten today for all the television folks, too.
There were 2 very key injuries in the first half. One to Tony Dorsett, and the word on him is that he is cleared to come back. He can come back and play again. They expect him to be back. The word on Montgomery is that his knee was hyperextended, and he will not play again. Also, we did find out what happened to Bob Brunig. It was that he got knocked out in the first series, and we'll just have to wait and see if he comes back. His place was taken by Bruce Huther.
They said he was just trying to figure out where he was, you know, on the sidelines after you've been thumped. That's what happens. By the way, Franklin has not been kicking the ball into the end zone the way the coaching staff would like.
Let's see what he does this time, as James Jones is back deep for Dallas, and it won't be into the end zone. It won't be Jones. It's Steve Wilson. Steve Wilson, as the Eagles do a good job getting down underneath that kick by Franklin. Dallas will take over then at their own 20-yard line, just shy of that, 1st and 10. Same offensive lineup. With the exception of Dorsett, it's going to be James Jones.
And the sun is coming over that end of the stadium, and Danny White will be looking into a pretty good sun right in his face.
James Jones, we mentioned, a first-year man from Mississippi State, 5'10", 201. They have high regard for him. Ron Springs is the other running back. White, quick screen, this time to Pearson again. And Drew gets outside the 20, outside the 30 for a Dallas first down. Herman Edwards made the tackle.
If it hadn't been for Jerry Robinson putting his arms up so that Danny had to sort of float this when he had to get it over the linebacker who had made the move over the line of scrimmage, this might have gone for a long distance. Boy, Drew's carrying that ball like the loaf of bread, isn't he? They'll finesse you, and they've got great people at those skill positions. Don't ever forget that.
So it's first down for the Cowboys. Jones moves behind Springs, and Jones will be the ball carrier. Shakes away from one tackler. Does not make it, however, back to the line of scrimmage. Dorsett is back on the Dallas bench, just came back, and is not wearing shoulder pads. So I guess it's the end of Tony D for today.
Some tackle that time by Ronell Young on the outside, the rookie cornerback. He stacked it up, and then he got help from Bunning, I believe, and Randy Logan helped.
Second down.
Jones just barely got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. There's Dorsett. And as I just mentioned, he is without shoulder pads and hurting. The late report is that Dorsett does have a cracked rib. So the 2 good runners are gone. White looking. They find Tony Hill, but a pass interference penalty is going to be called against Randy Logan. No question about that one.
I think the hesitation and Danny White throwing the ball probably caused this to happen. Watch to the left of your screen as Bigfoot Harrison comes across at 6'8" and jumps up. Cooper's blocking him pretty well. Closes off that side. And now the real zip throw, and Logan was hanging all over him.
First down, Dallas. They move the markers up outside the 40 to the 42-yard line. The Cowboys in the first possession of the second half. Tied with the Eagles in the standings and on the scoreboard. 5-1 and 10-10.
Dallas only had the ball for 12 minutes in that first half.
Jones drops the football. The Eagles have it.
That's only the 6th fumble that the Cowboys have lost all year. Number 6. Possession, I don't believe, Pat.
Nope.
might have been looking up to see if the block was being made for him. That's a rookie mistake.
Carl Hairston made the recovery for 78. So the Eagles have the football in Dallas territory now at the 45. With the score tied at 10 apiece, they'll operate. Here's the man who made the fumble recovery just moments ago, Carl Hairston.
Not a bad 7th-round draft choice, huh?
I'd say not. Bob Bruning is back at middle linebacker. Bruce Huther played almost the entire first half after Bruning was knocked out. No setbacks. You think they're going to throw? Well, now they changed the setup a little bit. Giamona and Harris. Jaworski. This is Giamona. And the struggle nets him a couple. Mike Hegman led the tacklers.
Randy White hit him right on the back as he went by, and you could hear it up here, the thump. Boy, these two defenses. You earn everything you get and more. Brunig is back in there now. The cobwebs have cleared.
Finally took off the warm-up suits. The Liberty Bells, I mean. Second down. This is Pepley in the backfield. Different and unusual formation. The screen is out wide to the right to Charlie Smith. It's some running room. Play that Dallas worked so well. The Eagles come back with. Dennis Thurman and Brunig made the tackle, but the Eagles have a first down.
Good play by big Jerry Sizemore, the offensive right tackle. He'll slide out there. Now, homeboy Smith has the darndest quick start of speed. He can run right up on you. He waits, gets the block by Sizemore on the corner, and homeboy gets it home.
Got it for a first down. First down so far, 10-10. The score is 10-10. The Eagles on the move at the Dallas 32. Leroy Harris straight ahead, pounds in for 4 at least.
Boy, Leroy that time went up and waited for the hole to sort of open and then slid off. He's beginning to think while he's running with that ball. Here he watch it. He waits for that thing to sort of open up. P.D. Perot finally got a pretty good block on Randy White and straightened him up.
Here's the block on White, the tackle by D.D. Lewis. Sky Morris blocking on White.
I'd say.
And well. 2nd and 5. Jaworski fires, picked off by Steve Wilson. Wilson has it for Dallas, drops it. Too tall Jones scoops it in.
And coming around the horn behind Jaworski, and he may have even hurried the throw, was Randy White. Watch number 54 come to the left part of your screen in a hurry. The ball was zipped. Steve Wilson makes a great play from the corner. Man-to-man defense.
Intended for Charlie Smith, but Dallas has the ball again. Score remains tied at 10-all. At Summerall with Tom Brookshire in Philadelphia at the Vet. And a good contest. 19-yard interception and a return by Steve Wilson.
His second of the year and a big one.
Another fumble. And the Eagles get it right back, I think.
Randy Logan may have been under there, the tight safety man. I don't believe he had control of the ball.
That was Ron Springs that time.
There's the move. It's Frank LeMaster that caused it. Springs can't get to it. Logan has the first shot. I believe Berge came out of the pile with it.
First down Eagles. It might have been LeMaster, the first man there. No, it's Charlie Johnson. That's who it is. 65. First down Philadelphia. They'll take over at the Dallas 25. Jaworski fakes to Giamona. He's going for the punch right now. He may not get away from anybody. Giamona has it. Oh, what a catch. He's at the 10 inside. They almost had Jaworski, and he still got it away.
Now this defense was perfect. They covered Keith Prepley, the tight end, who Husky somehow picked out the secondary receiver. Look at Jones. Too tall goes by. This throw is an incredible throw, but a great catch.
Steve Wilson on the tackle, but what a catch by Giamona.
Where did he come from? The Dallas defense played Krepley perfectly. They had him closed off at the flag.
First and goal, Eagles. At the 9, Leroy Harris breaks a tackle, fumble. Charlie Waters was fighting on the bottom of that pile. It's just a question of who comes up with it.
I believe Dallas
like
has
it's
the
going to
ball.
be Dallas. Randy White is saying yes, and they do. A fumble by Harris, and Dallas gets it right back. You think they're not hitting out there?
I know one thing. I'll never make the final part of the season if we have games like this all the way.
Charlie Waters is the Cowboy that came up with it.
Extra effort by number 20. Gets the block, bounces off his own player, Morris at center. And right here, he should have gone for the deck, and instead he lost the ball. Looked like Krepley had a chance for it, but Dallas got there first.
And so Dallas takes over at the 6. 9:57 still left in the third quarter. And the ball has all of a sudden become very lively. Robert Newhouse in the game now with James Jones. It's Newhouse.
The stadium is beginning to go crazy.
Carl Hairston the tackle on Newhouse.
Okay, you're deep in your own territory, and you've had 2 fumbles in a row. You're careful. It's just a counter. It's a misdirection play. Before the Eagles play the run, and look at Carl Hairston from behind. The defensive right end makes a leg tackle.
The turnovers. Cowboys have an interception, that by Steve Wilson. 2 fumbles. They're all even.
Must be a throwing down, huh?
It's almost got to be. Screen coming. Good call. Jones looked like he had a lot of things going, and he's run down from behind by Charlie Johnson, the nose guard.
Charlie Johnson. I said earlier, a little bit tentative, that I thought he was one of the best nose guards, if not the best in football. He's 265. Watch he and Fitzgerald now. They've been locking up all day. Johnson moves to where he thinks the motion is, and now recovers to the screen side. How he gets into this play, only Charlie knows. Except he used to be a tight end in junior college, which is a little bit scary.
Yeah. Where was that? I know he went to Colorado.
I think Pueblo Junior College. Among the Indians.
Danny White moves back into the shotgun as the stadium is just wild. Drops into the end zone and looks deep. Complete through Pearson. He just did his little dance over on the sideline. Randy Logan on the coverage, but Drew just tied him up.
Is he smooth? I'll tell you, 88 makes it look so easy. This is like when you draw on the board when you're when you're in trouble and you need a deep sideline. Now watch Logan. Logan doesn't realize 88's even gotten there. What a play. Good pass blocking. That's Claude Humphrey being taken out of there. Here comes Charlie Johnson, too late.
It is very smooth. It is a first down, Dallas. Here comes Drew Pearson in motion. There's Newhouse trying the middle to no avail.
Berge and Charlie Johnson stood him up straight. And you know how hard it is to get Newhouse upright like that. He comes out of his stance and never comes up at all.
He's almost always upright. You just can't tell it. No gain. 2nd and 10. Cowboys quickly out of the huddle. That Eagle defense has been awesome against the run. So has Dallas. 10-10 tie. Tony Hill in motion. Eddie White. Pearson got it.
That time linebacker helped. They kicked out LeMaster to help him on it, and Herm Edwards says, I'm going to let him have 2 or 3 of those a game and not worry. It's the sideline by Satin Smooth. Well, we've seen him win games in overtime and everything else, but it is just almost impossible to stop him on a sideline pass.
The name of that song would apply. Nobody does it better.
That's good. That's good.
First and 10, Dallas. Line of scrimmage, their own 40.
But don't forget Tony Hill when you're covering everybody else.
They must be doubling him most of the time. Andy White. Billy Joe Dupree is open. Does a dance, and he has too many partners to go anywhere.
First catch by B.J. Saldi had one earlier in that first quarter. That may be the way you can sort of crack what the Eagles are doing, is get it to somebody down the middle, split them a little bit. Because that 34 becomes a 4 most of the time. They'll send one of the linebackers or the other. Boy, good pass blocking this time. Good pass blocking, excellent play. B.J. stays up just a little bit too long, gets a few extra shots.
Master and Edwards were two of the shooters. They give to Newhouse on a misdirection. Newhouse has a Dallas first down. Tackled by Jerry Robinson, but they move into Eagle territory.
Now, normally, Newhouse will sort of move a little bit and fidget. This time, you notice he takes one step and then takes advantage of these blocks. Good block on the line of scrimmage. Let's see who makes the good block coming across.
That's Donovan coming down from the outside.
On the outside, and Scott got a good block on beyond him.
Just a cross block. I thought it was misdirection, but it wasn't. Jones, the lone setback. Here comes the house in motion. Pitches back. James Jones, and a penalty marker goes down. It's going to be for clipping, and a Cowboys down.
Jerry Robinson said that, I believe it's Butch Johnson,
yes,
clipped him from behind. Jerry Robinson is so quick that by the time you throw your block, he might have already turned and been chasing things. And I mean quick, like a 4.4 40 for a fellow that's going about 216, 17 pounds.
He was the Eagles' first-round draft choice since 1973. From UCLA, of course, well known by Vermeil.
Came to town and everybody greeted him like he'd just flown the Atlantic. He didn't know why. We hadn't seen a #1 draft choice in years.
Holding, 86, offense.
That was
first
Butch,
down.
and he knew it. He stayed face down on the artificial turf.
This guy can run you down from behind if you're a running back.
We saw him do it just a minute ago. Well, it'll be first down, Dallas. They need 20 back at their own 43 now. White will try for some of it. We'll get some of it. That is Tony Hill. Down inside the 45, about the 44-yard line of Philadelphia. Berge on the tackle.
Let's take a look at it. The inside pattern is not Tony Hill's real forte. He likes to sort of run sideline things and keep out of traffic, but he'll catch it wherever it is. It's his first catch, I believe, today. Let's see if that protection is picking up. Fitzgerald on Johnson.
Doing a good job.
Cooper's doing a good job getting some help from Rafferty on Claude Humphrey.
So it'll be second down as the Cowboys get 13 yards back. Pearson starts in one direction, comes back the other. And again, the flag comes like, this sounds like somebody ran a red light.
Well, I'll tell you, that's the scariest thing if you're on the football field you can hear, because some guy may not stop. It's like the bell, you know, when you're being hammered in the corner, some fighter. Stop the other guy.
Too much time. Yeah, why should I quit if he doesn't?
Tell that guy it's beating on
False
me.
start, 6-8, offense, second down.
A false start instead of too much time by number 68.
Drew Pearson has 7 catches for 91 yards against a very, very tough Eagle defense. #1 in giving up points in the league.
Miami beating Buffalo in the third quarter, 14-7. They had them 14-0. Andy White sends Tony Hill out to the left. He's got Drew Pearson out to the right. And he drops. He has time. Batted down. Hill 3. Put the rush on him that time.
Jerry Robinson, the right linebacker, the fellow we just said was so unique in this town, on this team, he'll come to the right part of your screen. The 3 becomes a 4, and Robinson is so quick that when the back go-ahead checked out in the flat, he was still there to get his hand up. And there the back is wide open. Earlier one year, this year, I said that I thought the Eagles were the best prepared team I'd almost ever seen. Dallas has got to be close.
Preston Pearson flanked on the left. Now moves up on the right. Rush. Going deep for Butch Johnson. Butch broke it back to the outside. Herman Edwards was back there with him.
A big rush by Clark, number 71, who comes in on passing situations. Out of Syracuse, short, stubby, quick, and tough. There he is. A lot of pressure that time.
Wally Henry goes back deep for the Eagles. Danny White, of course, can throw and can run from punt formation, just as he can from any formation.
Cowboys haven't had a touchdown yet by the offense, you know.
No.
Still 10-all tie.
White will probably take a long look before he kicks it, no? Good kick. The coverage is good this time. Henry whoa, he jumps up in front of the coverage and takes it. And down he goes. Cowboy coverage was excellent that time.
Guy Brown was all over him, wasn't he?
Leaping and jumping. It is still 10-10 with 4:48 left in the third quarter.
Oh, don't go away.
You ever see cheerleaders in shoes like that?
No, they must have come from Neiman Marcus. Maybe they ordered them out of Dallas.
They're supposed to have on sneakers or white bucks or something.
Or whatever.
First and 10, Billy Campfield in the backfield with Harris now. The Eagles have it at their own 20. Jaworski gives to Campfield. He struggles for about 6 yards. D.D. Lewis was being dragged. Lynn Dickey scored a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. They trail Cleveland now 13-7. Jets ahead of Seattle 14-10.
Those two teams will drive you crazy, won't they?
And Denver 14-3 over Kansas City in the second quarter. 4:15 left in the third here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Watching a defensive battle that hadn't been matched many times. Harris hangs straight ahead. Perhaps they've decided it's time to start to establish a little bit of a running game.
Well, Jerry Wampler, the offensive line coach, and the guy that really sort of puts their scheme together, said it's better sometimes to run at Randy White, double team him if you have to, but run at him rather than have him come from nowhere and hurt your people. This time they did get him straightened up a little bit and ran at him for what might be a first down.
Bob Brunig made the contact on Harris just before White did. Looks like they might do it. See the play by Bob Brunig. It was knocked out in the first half. Middle linebacker.
Okay, Arizona time. Ooh, gets rid of the blocker quickly. You can't fill the hole better than that, can you?
Strong run by Harris. He filled and fell back. It'll be first and about an inch. They put Carmichael wide to the left. They put Charlie Smith out wide to the right.
Jaworski will take it himself.
First down, Eagles.
Woody Peoples, the right guard, he's been around this league for 12 seasons, didn't have a chance of making the team, and they told him, watch 69 come off the ball. Straight ahead, right into Larry Cole and company. That last year, when you're a great veteran pro and you're told that you really got to make it, they said he had an outstanding training camp.
Well, they teach you blocking techniques. One of the things they say is do not leave your feet. Boy, he did it well there. Jaworski wants some more. Has Carmichael wide open, and Carmichael still on his feet. Big Harold down the sideline. Down to about the Dallas 30 before they get him down.
Now, Steve Wilson had an early shot at him, But Carmichael, even though he looks slender, weighs about 2 1/4 and is extremely fast. And he just actually throws Steve into the Dallas bench. Let's see what the pass blocking's like. Boy, Morris did a job. Watch this throw. Now, Steve has a pretty good shot, but that's a young person's mistake. He's only been in the secondary about 7 games.
That ball, watch him the way he carries it. Looks like it might be a tennis ball instead of a football.
And the trouble is that he can run stride for stride with you, and his stride is so much larger that you think you're doing pretty well until you add up the yards.
Jaworski wants some more right now. He has Canfield with blockers in front. And Canfield stays on his feet. Eagles on the move. Bob Brunick made the tackle, but they rolled toward the Dallas goal line.
What a block by Woody Peoples. He comes outside and took D.D. Lewis off his feet. We've been watching Dallas a long time, and I haven't seen number 50 drilled off the ball in a long time. The screen. Now watch number 69. Here comes D.D. up. And I mean, just took him to the turf. Canfield cut inside.
That's the old smother block.
Cut off the air, right?
2nd and 1, Spagnola and Tremblay, the 2 tight ends on the Philadelphia offensive line. Jaworski gives to Harris. He'll have it. Larry Cole stopped him. Watch Woody Peoples again, number 69. His charge.
And that time, Jerry Sizemore and Too Tall Jones exchanged many words before and after the play. Watch this. They're still going at it, 76-72. Elbows and knees a little bit, and now checking one another out. Sizemore goes 265, Too Tall about 265.
I'm sure they know each other by now.
Intimately.
1.5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Carmichael goes to the left. Smith to the right. Charlie Waters calls the defensive set for his defensive backfield, and Jaworski is going to look at it. Cole. Pass complete and drop. Cole put the big rush on Jaworski, and he was lucky to get rid of it.
Cole and number 72, Too Tall Jones, to the right of your screen. That's where it'll come from. Again, the back is not spoiled. He's checking out now. Leroy Harris checked out. Here comes Cole. Well, Larry had him in the graft, didn't he?
And Too Tall was right close. Just as well for the Eagles that Leroy Harris didn't catch that ball. Jaworski 12 out of 20 for 199 yards make it. He has the 1 touchdown, the 1 interception by Steve Wilson.
Jaworski, like all quarterbacks, know that the buck stops there, right?
And he wants to talk about where that buck is going to stop because he's used an Eagle timeout. Score is still 10-10. The quarterbacks today. Danny White for the Dallas Cowboys. Jaworski, 12 of 20 for 199. White, 14 of 24 for 161.
Neither team can rush the football, and they're both excellent at it.
Passing down, coming out again right here for the Eagles. Ron Jaworski has Wally Henry to the right. He gets to Giamona, and nothing doing. Dexter Clinkscale, Anthony Dickerson and company.
And Too Tall Jones came all the way down from the defensive left end spot and collapsed it. You get Ed started, boy, it can change a lot of things. They're trying to get a trap play right up the middle. Watch Too Tall get into it.
Wow. Harvey Martin on the bottom of it. They've done a good job on Harvey today.
It's Stan Walters.
Number 75 on the left side against number 79 on the left side. 39. See if the Cowboys blitz. Don't show it. Don't do it. Jaworski has Wally Henry for a second as the Cowboys did put the heat on again. Charlie Waters put the quick move on, and Benny Barnes on the coverage of Wally Henry.
Ronnie just threw it behind the receiver. Henry really never had a chance. Of course, Jaworski didn't have a lot of time to worry about it. They had a safety blitz on. I believe Clinkscale
That's
came,
right.
didn't he?
That was Clinkscale that was closest to him and made him throw so quickly.
Coverage wasn't bad either.
So Tony Franklin.
Remember the day we watched him kick in the Sun Bowl? He kicked into Juarez that day.
Oh, we got him a good contract. 38 yards out with John Shira holding. Far far enough, but no good. He pulled it left. Only his third miss of the year, and Dallas will take over 1st and 10. And the score remains. I don't know if anybody will ever score. It's still 10 to 10. A 10-10 tie between the Eagles and the Cowboys at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
Danny White has thrown 2 touchdown passes in the last 5 games, at least 2.
That's Jones trying to run left and finding nobody, no place. Bill Berge fills it up quickly.
Well, you know who the defensive backfield coach is for Philadelphia. It's a guy named Fred Bruni. And Fred and I had about the same ability, not much. And if you don't tackle, you can't play for Bruni. If you won't hit coming from the secondary, then go out and get a job.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Dallas 10, Philadelphia 10. We now pause for a word from your local station. A contest that is everything everybody expected it to be between the Eagles and the Cowboys, who came in with records of 5-1, are still tied at 10-10 as you check the Eagles defense.
It's a 3-man rush, but they're looking for pass. They got Clark on the nose because he's a good pass rusher from there.
He's against Fitzgerald. On 2nd down, Dallas fakes run. Intended for Tony Hill. Tony Hill looking back into that sun, but that ball was high.
I think Tony slipped down trying to make a real oblique move back to the sidelines. Here's the rush now. Like, is that Carl Harrison that made some penetration over there?
Claude Humphrey.
Claude Humphrey.
Right. He knocked 3 guys backwards.
He came to Philadelphia just because Marion Campbell was the defensive coach and came out of retirement.
Another passing down, and this time they do go with 4 down linemen. 3rd and 9. They'll be rushing against the shotgun formation for Dallas. Oh, bad snap. White in his end zone. Throws. Underthrows Drew Pearson. And what he saved then was total disaster.
Roynell Young was coming on if he throws a better spiral. He is so cagey, though, and as somebody told us, he might be one of the brightest. This was just a low snap by Fitzgerald. He doesn't make 2 of those a whole year, does he?
No.
Good move here by Danny White. Talk about being between the rock and the hard place. He was.
And deep in that hard place.
In the shadow.
Back in his own end zone, and Wally Henry goes back to about his own 32-yard line for the Eagles as Danny White goes back to punt for Dallas. High snap this time. Henry. Not much room. He jumps around, gets away from a couple. Football might have come loose, but the Eagles got it back. Dexter Clinkscale was down there quickly.
This is a Super Bowl.
Oh, man. 10-10 tie. Still, we're in the 4th quarter. Eagle 1st down. At their own 43. Jaworski still the quarterback. That comes as no surprise. Outside quickly. Knocked down. Again, what you were talking about earlier. If they can't get there, they get the hands up. Harvey Martin.
Harvey Martin, he's got the bad bruised thigh. He's always played the pass extremely tough. Walters handles him, but Harvey gets a hand on it. They said he has just tried to show leadership through intensity this year, and it's really worked. They're a great defensive team.
And that bad thigh that's been nagging for quite a while now.
Especially a defensive end where you get a shot on that about every time you leave the line of scrimmage.
The Packers have gone ahead of Cleveland now, 14-13. 2nd and 10. Cowboys in that 6 defensive back setup. Jaworski takes it down, and he goes down. Fumble. And the Cowboys have it, I think. That is correct. Randy White, John Dutton, and Harvey Mutton in hot pursuit of Ron Jaworski.
Randy White was timed at like 4'6" at 255 pounds, which he still is. He's just, watch how he maneuvers, tries to make a rush, 2 people blocking him, and now when Ron decides to run with it, look out, 54's got you with help. Johnny Dutton had him from behind, too.
John Dutton put on the initial pressure, and it's going to be Dutton that makes the recovery. And the Cowboys take over at the Eagle 39.
Some series here for Tom Landry in that team. El Bigo.
He said before the game, I don't know how good we are yet. But he'll have a pretty good idea after today. Take by White. He ducks under. Throws. He has a man wide open. It's Tony Hill. No, it's Drew Pearson. I'm sorry. Frank LeMaster made the tackle. A great maneuver by Danny White. The 8th reception for Drew Pearson.
Now, Danny White does not have the great shotgun arm a lot of people have said and everything, but as a thinker and as an athlete within a total person, he can really do things when he has to. I hope I'm not being disparaging. I'm saying what a fantastic player he is. I just don't think he has a great gun.
And sometimes he throws like Quisenberry. The ball still gets there. First down for Dallas. They're down on the Philadelphia 23. A busted play. It runs Springs. White almost missed the handoff on this one. Randy Logan made the tackle.
Outside linebacker John Bunny, 95, just stuffed the play early. Closed it off to where there was no play. You'll see him trying to get outside. 95 shows up right here. And it all breaks down.
White just barely got the ball to Springs, as you could see.
The only person that burned them on the run, the Eagles, was O.J. Anderson.
And he'll do it to anybody. Danny White today on 2nd and 9 at the Eagle 21. Springs and Jones, the running backs. This time he has ample protection for a while. Shakes off a tackler. Points. Can't do anything, and he's slung out of bounds by Bill Berge.
Talk about swinging somebody out of bounds. He threw him clear into the Eagles' water bucket. He doesn't wear many pads, a helmet and shoulder pads, no thigh guards. Well, he does within the rules. Well, Danny White has to make a big move. That was John Bunny, the linebacker. Watch this tackle.
That was a tackle that resembled what you used to do to a rag doll.
It's like being pulled out of your car on a turnpike.
Second sack for the Eagles. That was more of a sling than a sack.
Get Tony Hill under control, number 80, if you're playing defense.
They need 20 at the 33. White going deep. Intercepted by the Eagles in the end zone, intended for Preston Pearson. And the Eagles stymie the Cowboys again.
Jerry Robinson.
Reggie Wilkes with the interception.
Reggie was a starter a year ago. This is one of the few times he's had a chance to play some defense. Oh, what a play.
And the score remains 10-10.
Wow.
Eagles have it. 10-10 tie.
Turnovers 4 apiece.
Interception by linebacker Reggie Wilkes. Gives it back to Philadelphia. Harry Harrington is the fullback now. But the give is to Camfield. Found some daylight. Randy White got him from behind. They see what happened to Randy.
They try to take him inside, try to take him down, log him, as you would say. Watch Perot trying to get position. And White, upper body strength is just out of sight. Camfield, though, hits the hole a lot like Ron Springs, you know. It's like a good left hook.
Strong enough to get 5 yards on that carry. The other running back is the rookie, second-round draft choice, Harry Harrington. Jackson State. Straight ahead this time is Harrington.
is the rookie number 2 draft choice, Harrington. And last week against the Giants, he broke 2 or 3 tackles and scoring a touchdown. He might be the fastest player on the Eagles squad. And when he runs, he'll remind you a little bit of Walter Payton if you get a chance to watch him. He's 212 pounds with like 4 or 5 speed.
That would make sense because they come from the same school.
That's right.
And he broke some of Payton's records, in fact, at Jackson State. Third down and 2 at the 28. They're trying to run for it. And to no avail. Wow, what a rush by Dallas. That looked like Bruce Heather or Mike Hegman. I'm not sure which.
And give Too Tall Jones a superb effort. Watch the left part of your screen. He makes Canfield bounce outside because he just stripped everything all the way down to the center. Wow, what a play.
And we get another look at Max Runiger. Averaging 37.1 yards on the season. And James Jones is back deep for Dallas. Runiger. Kick from his own 10.
He hasn't had any punts blocked this year.
He kicks him not too far, but very high. Low snap. Took his time. This one's high and far. Jones feels it, slips for a moment, gets away from the tackler, and gets out to about the 38. But the Cowboys take over. John Shire, first man down. 9:45 left to play in this football game. A 48-yard punt by Max Runiger. Veterans Stadium is still packed, as it was at the beginning. And they're even, just like they were at the beginning.
Patrick, they're the most knowledgeable fans in this town that they'll ever be. They know when you make a mistake. But if you give 100% effort, you never get a boo here.
Double tight ends for the Cowboys. They give to James Jones, and he gets a couple. They just haven't been able to block that Philadelphia defense. Hairston and Harrison, the 2 defensive ends, converge.
Both defenses have been attacking. By that I mean they're not playing defense sitting back holding blocks and waiting. Landry's team has been great, and the Eagles have been sort of turning their linebackers loose and allowing them to bang people. Woody Peoples there looks like he might have gotten his hand caught under somebody. Well, that's Bigfoot Harrison. I'm sorry, 68.
Second down and 8 to 39. White can't find anybody open. Has to run. Outside the 40, he got 1 or 2 with a real struggle. The Eagle pass defense picking up its efforts right now.
Carl Hairston's getting up again. He has to be in on at least 20 tackles since we started. Here you watch the rush. See, Bunning was moving in from the left outside linebacking spot. Claude Humphrey in for Bigfoot Harrison. And Hairston ends up getting some help from LeMaster and makes the sack.
So it'll be third down. They need 6 at their own 41.
No shotgun.
The Dallas defense got the only touchdown. Now they shift back to the shotgun. Butch Johnson is the flanker on the right. Here comes Preston Pearson back into the backfield. Danny White fires to the outside and overthrows. Butch Johnson, the intended receiver, and Danny White will have to punt. John Shira in on the coverage.
That time the Cowboys, fearing the big rush, kept Preston Pearson in the backfield to pick up a possible rusher. That's when you know that if you're going to get it off, you got to get some extra help.
Wally Henry is number 89. For 11, of course, is Danny White, the Dallas kicker. Clock stopped with 8 minutes, 6 seconds left to play in the game, and still 9 at 10. Kick that'll stay up a long time. Henry taken out of bounds by number 51, Anthony Dickerson. A 34-yard punt by Danny White. That won't help his average too much. And the Cowboy defense and the Eagle offense re-enter. Giamona and Harris now the Eagle running tandem, with only Harris back up Jaworski. It's getting to the place where you have to run pass almost every time. Jaworski a pump. And he is really waffled by Hegman and Dutton and Martin.
What a shot Jaworski took. Hegman really hit him solid. It's so much like a game that could have been played in the 50s, the 60s, or the 70s. If the quarterback decides to run with it, pay your price. Did they stick Ron Jaworski?
He's in shape. And back in the Eagle huddle. He calls, by the way, his own plays in contrast to what the Dallas team does with Tom Landry.
But they're flashed to him so that he has an idea of what the coach wants.
5-yard pickup nevertheless. And here's Jaworski. Good protection, and now it starts to break a little bit. Incomplete, intended for Giamona. Good play by Dede Lewis. A hit just as the ball arrived. 12 of 23.
To me, the Eagle offense right now looks like they're searching a little bit, and composure is the better part of valor at this stage. Be very careful. Don't try to be anything super against this bunch. There's Aaron Mitchell.
Jets over Seattle now, 17-13 fourth quarter. And Chicago with Vince Evans at the helm. New Orleans over Atlanta. How about that? Jaworski has missed on 3 straight, and he drops again. He hit this one out to Giamona. Randy White was clipped and got up and made the tackle. What a play number 54 made. He was hit from behind. Penalty marker is down. Watch number 54 get clipped and get up and make the tackle.
And Woody Peoples is the one that clips him. Watch him now. He gets rid of Petey Perot, the big offensive guard. Giamona has to turn around, which takes a little time out. And there he is sliding in after being clipped and makes the stop. Right at the sticks, by the way. It's deep hole time. The Eagles are going to have to dig their way out of this one.
Ordinary mortal would be on the sidelines now.
Are already turning to the official and worrying about that. Randy White knows 2 things: full speed and full speed.
You won't ever see. I'm sorry, you couldn't see the whole thing. Here's Lepore.
Ineligible player downfield. Number 62, offense down.
Perhaps they didn't see the clipping. Whatever.
Maybe we should stop talking about it, I guess.
Maybe. But if you can see the whole thing, and as I started to say, I'm sorry you can't. You'll never see a better defensive play than that one made by Randy White just then.
Be careful with that football if you're playing offense right now.
3rd down. They need 15 at their own 20. They start to operate. Long count. Jaworski is hit just as he lets it go. Pass incomplete. Not intercepted, not caught. Benny Barnes was over with the intended receiver, who should be Charlie Smith.
Harvey Martin and Randy White. I don't know who you give the credit to, but all 4 of the Cowboys came like gangbusters. He didn't get a fraction of a second to load it up, did he?
And hasn't had lately, and neither quarterback has. Tremendous pass rush by both teams. James Jones back for Dallas. And in the last couple of series, their offense has looked a little unsure of itself as well. Max Runniger is number 4. Eagles go with a long count. And Runniger again hits a rifle. Jones slips down, and the ball will take an Eagle bounce. All the way down to the 20-yard line, bounces back to about the 22. Jones went over to handle it, lost his footing. And Zach Henderson is down there to down it.
But Jones really had composure for a rookie. He got up and sprinted away from the football. If that ball had bounced into him, the whole shooting match would maybe be over.
It winds up being a 57-yard punt for Runniger.
It is a little wet. They had an overnight rain, a little slick. Left of the screen, you may see the rookie from Mississippi State slip down. Now watch him get up and get away from that hog bladder. Boy, he's a smart football player.
So Dallas takes over. 1st and 10 at their own 22. Ron Springs looking around for some place to go. And when you look that long, there'll never be any place to go.
Now, when you have people like Myers and Ermal Allen and Danny Reeves and Coach Landry on offense, you're thinking about the one play maybe you put in special, a special play. We're in a hole. We're running out of time. There's a little over 6 minutes left. If we have a special play now, we put in something that this team, this computerized great team, has not seen yet all year.
2nd and 8 situation now. Dupree in motion to the left. White back to throw. Again chased. Nothing doing. Ball stayed in the air. Eagles football. It was batted into the air, and the Eagles have it.
Charlie Johnson, the nose guard, somehow came up with the deflection. I don't know how he got there, folks. He's right on the nose of Fitzgerald right now. Danny White was looking downfield, and nothing happened down there. Pressure from Carl Harrison, a sidearm shot deflected by Bunning. And the nose guard makes an interception. You won't see that one again ever, maybe ever.
Deflected by a linebacker, caught by a nose guard. There's the rush that really caused the whole thing.
Danny White came in with only 4 interceptions and had 3 today.
So it's first down Eagles at the Dallas 20. Time running out. And Giamona running down in the grasp of Bob Brunig.
Now, if you're thinking about a Tony Franklin field goal on the Philadelphia side, you've got too much time on the clock. There's 5:40 showing. Here's Danny White, who's had to tee it up and throw it and load it up from almost the first quarter on. The deflection, the interception, and I don't even think Charlie Johnson gets into the tip drills with the defensive backfield people.
Carl Hairston is the one who caused the whole thing, and what a day he's had. 2nd down and 7 for the Eagles at the Dallas 17. They give again to Giamona. He's down to about the 15, a pickup of 2, tackled by D.D. Lewis.
And remember, Wilbert Montgomery, number 31, the total yardage leader of the whole league last year, has not played since the first quarter. A strained knee. So Giamona's in there at 5'10", 180 pounds.
That's Krepfle on Hegman.
Oh. Hello there.
And the Big Eagle is up again. 3rd and 5 at the Dallas 15. Score is tied. Tony Franklin already has his shoe off. Touchdown. Charlie Smith. Jaworski to Smith.
Charlie Smith's 2nd touchdown of the year. He ran a quick in pattern, a quick slant. As I said, he gets so close to the defensive back before he breaks it off. He's extremely hard to the defense. A free agent named Charlie Smith. They call him homeboy.
They call him anything he wants to be called right now. Tony Franklin will try for the extra point with John Shira holding. Franklin hits. Touchdown again. And if he didn't catch it, it might have hurt him badly because Jaworski really cut it loose.
Jaworski is now 13 of 25, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he has been under duress the entire day. What a strike he threw there.
Waters and Wilson were the nearest defenders. Cheers for the Eagles.
He always says it's a man up above that does all his catching for him.
Contest.
It's the best I've been involved in for a long time. We wait for these too, you know, the broadcasters.
Right. 4:27 left to play. They went 20 yards in 3 plays in a minute 26 seconds. The Eagles have 2 timeouts left. Dallas has all 3 of theirs.
And a lot of time on that clock. 4:27.
Tony Franklin rips this one pretty good. Jones out of the end zone, 2 yards deep. Breaks out into the clear. Jones just taken down at the 40 by number 24, Zach Henderson. And Tony Franklin was leveled.
And here's Jones, who had so much trouble with the punt when he slipped down. A Mississippi State offensive back, got legs like pistons. And you don't do this to Lynn Stiles' kickoff coverage team. They are excellent at it. Great run back.
41-yard kickoff return by James Jones. And so Dallas takes over at their own 40, 1st and 10, with all of their timeouts remaining. James Jones and Ron Springs, the two running backs. Annie White drops on 1st down and throws on 1st down. Caught by Dupree. Dallas 1st down in Eagle territory, or very nearly there. I think these Eagle fans aren't into it.
Notice how Berge gets up. He's just coming off knee surgery from a year ago, and he gets that leg straight before he gets up, heavily taped. But when he grabs a hold of you, you do a little tense your strength on jersey material.
Jones and Butch Johnson go out. Dallas comes out. They're going to have to get things going here. They only have 10 seconds on the 30-second clock. Two tight ends. 1st and 10. Time remaining up in the right-hand side of your picture. That's Springs. Springs barrels down to about the 41-yard line. Frank LeMaster knocked him out of bounds.
The Eagles had a chance to draft Ronnie Springs when he came out of Ohio State, and they didn't because he didn't have the big record. They said obviously it was a mistake, but Gil Brandt thought he had great hands, a great catcher of the football. No, we haven't seen him running the ball like we know he can. He shows, though, that he can really receive it.
He had a lot of injury problems, in fact. That's why a lot of people that looked at him, they ignored him early in the draft when he was at Ohio State. Jones moves back deep. The handoff is to Springs. And Springs has the Dallas 1st down.
He had 80-some-odd yards rushing a year ago here on that Saturday afternoon. He's a straight-ahead load. If you catch him coming right off the snap, you might weigh 255, and you'll get carried a little bit. He really sucks.
They'll move the markers with 2 minutes 53 seconds left to play. Dallas with all 3 of their timeouts remaining, operating from the Eagle 36, 1st and 10.
And 3 won't get you anything. Forget the field goal. You need 7 points.
All players standing on both benches. There's the reverse to Tony Hill, looking to throw. Still looking. Finds nothing.
He was looking for Drew Pearson, trying to go to the right corner of the end zone, and Bernard Wilson and Rory Dell Young were both there.
Didn't fool anybody.
This was the play I looked for the last series. The fake to Springs, the handoff, and not a running handoff. He's run the end around before, but he's looking to throw. Rafferty's there with him. Logan played a pretty good position right there to make sure that no run was possible.
They picked up 3 on that play. So it's 2nd and 7 at the 33. Clock stopped as he went out of bounds. 2:29 left to play. White, if he has time, will throw, and he does. Caught by Jay Saldi near another Dallas 1st down.
I think he got the sticks too, Pat. He went just far enough to come across and catch it, and Berge's on his back. Here's Jay Saldi. Berge's with him the whole way.
What a catch.
What a catch. What a throw. Let's see how the pass blocking is. Rafferty comes back to pick up. Oh, this is a good throw. This is a cork.
It is enough for a Dallas 1st down. So the line of scrimmage is the Eagle 25 with 2 minutes left to play, and Philadelphia leading 17-10. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. And the Eagles lead the Cowboys at the moment 17-10. 2 minutes to go. Dallas with all of its timeouts remaining. The Eagles lead 17-10. Ron Springs and James Jones, 2 young running backs for Dallas. And Danny White, of course, the quarterback. Joe Dupree. Billy Joe still on his feet, fighting to about the 10-yard line before he's knocked backwards. What an effort by the big tight end. Roynell Young finally took him down.
Billy Joe Dupree, who really, even though he makes the Pro Bowl, some people think, boy, if we just had a tight end. This guy is sensational. This is some catch. Nobody but the tallest tight end catches this one. He's got those hands. Watch him fight now. Gets rid of Berge, linebackers, and the secondary finally makes the stop.
A 15-yard gain and a timeout called by Dallas. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 10.
Tell you one thing, today we're going to get all our commercials in, and I smell an overtime. This is going to be very, very close.
What time's your flight?
Well, I'm just going to drive into the trees some way.
On our way home, huh? Go and drive in the trees somewhere and hide and think about this game.
It's nachos in Dallas, and here they have Philadelphia Scrapple, or whatever they call it.
That was great. We had some this morning.
Boy, what a game. Is this a pleasure?
This is what it's about. This is what you wait for as a player, as a coach, as a broadcaster, as you mentioned, and most of all, and most important, as a fan.
Boy, isn't that the truth? These people here, you know, they've saved their money to buy these tickets when the teams were 2 and 14 and all that. You know, they've gone through hell.
That's 1st down right at the 10. And I'm not really sure it's 1st and goal. The ball looks like it's just outside the 10. I can't tell. From the markers from here, there's so many people there. Drew Pearson slipped down. Danny White tried the lob pass to him.
Did you hear Danny White yelling, ball, ball? Somebody yelled ball. This is just trying to get a young rookie cornerback named Young turned around. The quick throw, you lob it. You figure the vet has a chance to look at it, and the kid's going to be scrambling. Boy, he was right in there.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go for Dallas. Eagle crowd encouraging that defense. It's got to be difficult to hear for the Cowboys. Danny White under the center puts Drew Pearson in motion. Like there's a mix-up in the Eagle secondary. White throws, knocked down. It'll be 3rd and 10.
I believe it's Bill Berge.
It was.
He ain't too tall, you know. He's pretty heavy, but I don't know how he got up. He timed it perfectly. And I believe you're right, Pat. I believe there was an open receiver somewhere. Berge came out of his shoes.
Let's watch it again.
He told me since 1969, you can't believe the changes in the National Football League. That's when he broke in with Cincinnati. I don't know how he got a hand on it. Maybe he doesn't either.
So it'll be 3rd and 10, and Dallas now calls a timeout. Might as well use him now.
Don't save any. This is an important game. These two teams meet on the last day of the season at Texas Stadium.
If it was anything like this, we better write for a room right now.
That's it. And double up on my salt.
Seattle beat the Jets, by the way, 27-17.
What do you do now? What do you try to do? You got a minute and a half on the clock. You come back and run a couple of plays and try to split somebody, maybe run for the touchdown?
Not on 3rd down when you need all that much.
A 4th down is not a field goal.
Can't be a field goal. A minute, 32 seconds left on the clock. Here comes Danny White and Tony Hill back. Odd Humphreys, big back, number 87.
And always remember that the Cowboys have the people that can throw it and catch it as good as any team in the league.
Listen to this chant from this crowd for defense. Preston Pearson in the game, along with Jones, one of the running backs, but I doubt that you'll see any running. The Eagles blitz. Pass complete to Jones, but he gets only to about the 7.
Lamaster
Here it is.
and Bunny. Lamaster and Bunny made the tackle. Pretty good call, though. If you get one broken tackle, you have a chance with this. Let's see how the pass blocking is. Here comes Clark. Now he's picked up. Watch these two linebackers do a job. Ba-boom.
He got only 2 yards, so it's 4th and 8 at the 8, and here she is. No shotgun. Jones and Springs, the running backs. Batted away, incomplete.
Darnell Young, the rookie. Rookie Young makes the play of the day, and no flag was dropped. This is the guy that the Eagles drafted #1 from Alcorn State. He doesn't know all the sophisticated defenses. They only had one in college. But boy, does he have guts. What a play.
Listen to the crowd for the Eagle defense. Here's the play again.
A quick throw. Looking into the sun. Oh. Tony Hill and Darnell Young go together. Hello, young man. What a game. Holy gosh. He has Drew Pearson and Tony Hill in the end zone for 2 plays in a row.
40 seconds remaining. And the Eagles will just let it run out, and Dallas calls a timeout. Let's again look at that attempted touchdown pass by Danny White.
I can't tell you how many things go through a young cornerback's head when that ball is in the air and you got a game on the line. But the recovery under this is incredible. He's not that fast, a 4-6 man in the 40. He gets away with hanging on around the neck a little bit, and you take anything you can get, and the ball shows up.
Vic Vermeil.
You know his first pro coaching job? George Allen hired him out of college to be a special teams coach with the Rams.
Joe Pisarcik with a big hug. The ex-Giant. The Eagles again just give it to Jaworski and sit down. A little scuffle breaks out. So fine with the Eagles as the clock continues to run. There shouldn't be any more plays.
And just remember, the Eagles had lost to St. Louis in their division, so they really weren't actually tied with the Dallas Cowboys.
They both had the 5-1 records, but that does make it a difference at the end. Look at the crowd, and deservedly so.
Games, but this is as good a football game between 2 great teams as I think I've ever seen. It's as close as you can play it.
The final score is 17-10, but don't forget the job that Eagle defense did. The Dallas touchdown was not scored by the offense. It was scored when Randy White hit Jaworski. The ball rolled into the end zone, and Mike Hegman recovered it.